Hi, my name is Trevor Rickerd. I'm a fifth-year PhD candidate in the School of Biological Sciences and a member of the ISU Graduate Workers Union. I'm here today to speak about the lies and mischaracterizations that Larry Dietz sent out in his email on January 28th regarding the status of negotiations with the Graduate Workers Union and our demands. It needs to be stated that the union asked for mediation 3 times beginning in October 2020 before we filed for mediation with the state without the university. The university stated that they believed it would be premature to ask for mediation when we were making such great progress. But what progress are you talking about? We literally have no concessions at all from the university so far. All the university has succeeded in doing is stalling negotiations for an entire year, continuing to endanger already endangered graduates in a pandemic. The university refused mediation up until they were legally forced to. You say you are committed to the process, but honestly, the university's negotiating team has barely budged from their same stubborn positions in the past 2 mediation sessions. It needs to be stated that at the negotiating table, ISU has put forth an illegal proposal that would even bar any of our workers from condoning any kind of condoning or supporting any form of work strike or work stoppage, even under legal conditions under the threat of punishment. This threat would reach beyond one's capacity as a TA. As the lead negotiator for the university, Mike Kruger, stated that even Facebook posts on an individual's profile would be subject to punishment under the terms of the article. Mike Kruger stated that in this language, this is standard language that exists in the contracts with other unions on campus. However, when we spoke to other unions about this on the campus, they stated they have no idea what we were talking about, and they would never agree to anything like that because it would not be legal and would invalidate their entire contract. This proposal by ISU is illegal, and we will not willfully throw our rights away just because you demand that we sit down and shut up. It needs to be stated that the university is refusing to provide discrimination protections on the basis of citizenship status or immigration status for international workers. This is the official position of the university at the negotiating table. The union is demanding expanded discrimination protections, as we are well aware that discrimination does happen at this university, yet international workers have no method of reaching justice through the university. When we asked for these discrimination protections, the university's lead negotiator, Mike Kruger, stated that providing discrimination protections for workers on the basis of citizenship status or immigration status would be like providing discrimination protections for child molesters. And I don't need to take time to tell you how racist and insensitive that statement is. I could go through personal stories to explain how these discrimination protections are important, but at the end of the day, it shouldn't be hard to say that we should protect our international workers. While the state of Illinois has already classified citizenship status as a protected class by law, international workers face an economic obstacle in the legal process for gaining justice in that they cannot afford a lawyer to represent them in court if they were to pursue this type of case. Don't send out messaging stating that, quote, ISU has advocated that the contract, like all other collective bargaining agreements on our campus, includes strong anti-discrimination language, unquote, when you are actively refusing to codify legal discrimination protections, even protections that are already supposed to be enabled by law. If you really want such discrimination protections to exist at ISU, then do it. Tell Mike Kruger to codify into our contract discrimination protections on the basis of citizenship status and immigration status, like other universities do, like the law already suggests that we probably should be doing. It needs to be stated that when you mentioned all graduate teaching assistants are compensated fairly and competitively, you're talking about paying graduate teaching assistants a minimum stipend of about now $9,000 a year for 2 semesters. And this doesn't even take into account the $2,400 in mandatory fees that are taken out of our paychecks each year as well. The university is also refusing to waive any of these student fees, even though other classifications of workers are allowed fee waivers when they are taking classes for higher degrees. This places the minimum take-home pay for graduate teaching assistants at ISU at $6,600 for 2 semesters. Both internal and external.
Mr. Rickerd, I'm sorry, I'm giving you your 1-minute warning, sir.
Gotcha, thank you. Both internal and external reviews by the university administrators have concluded that the pay rates for teaching assistants at ISU are not competitive. The university's negotiating team even admitted this at the beginning of our negotiations in October of 2019. Now that the state has passed a law to raise the minimum wage, you're all acting like this raise in the minimum wage is a negotiated raise. It isn't, it's just the law. We have heard horror stories about workers just going through hell just to make ends meet at the end of the month. There's a reason that graduate workers at ISU's campus formed a food pantry, because not only did we recognize that ISU is a food desert, but we don't even have the money to buy food if it was available to us. The degree of food insecurity at ISU follows a similar trend as seen around the country, where universities act as predatory oppressors against their graduate labor force, treating them as cheap labor to the end of exploitation. There's plenty of research supporting how obvious this is, that food insecurity directly impacts the performance of students in the classroom and workers in their workspaces. When we say that teaching conditions at ISU are the learning conditions for students, that's exactly what we mean. A survey was produced in 2018
Rickerd,
by the ISU
Rickerd,
School of
I'm
Social
sorry.
Work.
You have exceeded actually your 5 minutes. So thank you, sir. We appreciate you presenting this morning.
Thank you. Do the right thing, Dietz, and just approve a contract with raises and fee cuts for us and protect our international workers. Thank you.